Good evening, y'all. Welcome to the paranormal and the spiritual speakeasy because I got both formats on tonight. I'm running both. Got a lot of people on tonight. I need to say some things first. Tonight, and I am reading from a script because I can't memorize shit at this point in time in my life. So good. You laugh. Good evening. Tonight, I'm going to bring you an evening of smoke, shadow, and silk. Tonight, I speak not only as Julie, but also the woman behind the mic and the woman of the paranormal, known as the paranormal courtesan. My path is not aesthetic. I need you to know that. It is not a costume that you can borrow. It is not a persona that you can slip on for attention. It is an inheritance carved in trauma, resurrection, and the spirits who walk with me. And I recently put together pieces of that identity to make it whole through rituals and language, shadow work, and artistic breath. Attempted by others who did not walk the fires that they were made in. Tonight, this is not a call out. I will not call names. Everybody in the paranormal side of this is watching knows that we have been through a lot of trauma together with other teams. I will not call out names. I do not need to. I will state that this is in Missouri. It is local. I will state that it's in Jefferson City in Columbia, Missouri. It is local. I will not state anything else because I do continue to work with people in both areas. This is not a call out. This is education. This is teaching. Because taking what is mine doesn't harm me. It harms the one who tries to become something they are not. It fractures them. It hollows them. It suffocates them under the weight of the path that was not chosen for them, and it rots them. Tonight, I stand to reclaim the truth of my identity and to teach the cost of imitation and to show why sin, silk, smoke are earned and not adopted. Welcome to the underworld of authenticity. Welcome to the house of the paranormal courtesan. Vanna, thank you for joining me. Vanna is one of my coven sisters who I love dearly. We're going to talk.
Okay, I'm glad, and thank you again for having me. It's always an honor to be here with you.
It's always fun, always fun. Welcome, listeners. So tonight, this is going to be about identity, authenticity, shadow, lineage, and consequences. And we got to do this in an hour because Brandon, my shaman, is following me at 7 p.m. So I have to, we got to get this in. We got to get it in. What do you have to say?
Well, I'm not really for sure. I mean, I know that at least in the paranormal world, right? Mm-hmm. It's really easy for, I think, anybody to sit on their couch and turn on a TV channel. Oh my goodness, there she is. Oh, she's so beautiful. I just can't wait to meet her. Oh, you are such a lovely doll, dear. Hi, Zoe.
Add a little humor to the show because it's going to get deep.
I love it. It's one of those things where it just seems like there's a lot of egos underneath. Like it's not even one roof because, that's not a one roof type deal, but it's such a small community that it's easy for feelings to be tread on. And then, I think that one of the things with at least marriage and family therapy is I think it highlights the fact that so much is destroyed over misunderstandings. And then the non-communication rather, about that misunderstandings. And then when people just tend to be in a reactionary mode, right? And it's just hurt people. You said that last time, and they do. Yeah. Right. So I just become really curious to be okay, what is underneath this? Right. I see symptoms and then I want to know what the causes are. So I'm hey, what's up? Hey, there's Vinamora. Hello, dear. But that's just me being a dork and being a scientist.
Right. Well, part of paranormal is to debunk, right? and that's why I have both sides on tonight. It doesn't matter the scientific method that's used for either one.
Oh yeah, I don't care how you get to the
We
7-Eleven. I just want to meet you there
prove
at
the
6.
truth with a T, capital
Mhm.
T. We
For
want to
sure.
prove the truth.
For
And
sure.
that's what it is. I think the bots just went away. We went from 35 to 9. Thank
I
you.
didn't know. Wow, bots. Like, I mean, I am so like that's such a weird phenomenon to me. I'm from the 1900s, so I'm like,
Right. They boost, and it was like a 35 viewers, huh? Wow, that's kind of funny. Like, I love that, but no, it's 9. Thank you. Well, I think we have to look at a lot of things. Like, I want to. Some people come from trauma. Some people come from death. Some people come from resurrection, entity work, demonology, closed practices.
We all come to the circle for different reasons.
Right. Lineages. And don't claim a lineage. And lying is lying. Don't claim a lineage that's not yours. Like, just don't, because the spirits are going to get you for that one. What I have survived, I survived. Somebody, Chrissy 12. So I'm not a bot. Vanna says I am. You are not a bot. If I'm seeing you now, you are not a bot.
She isn't, but I love her dearly.
Like, I come from lineage. And so for me to claim what I claim, I was initiated. I went through the process, and I have the right. I have earned the right to do the things that I have done. Mm-hmm. Other people that copy me have not earned that right. They've not been through the process that I've been through. And I don't perform as the courtesan. I have earned that right. You hear all my things have gone off like
ding ding
ding ding. I've got all my phones and all my things. So, like, don't copy. And whether it's through trauma or rebirth or whatever, you don't have the right to claim someone else's line and someone else's story. And I'm only talking about myself here. I'm not talking about anybody else, because it's not my story to tell.
For sure. Well, I mean, I think a really good example of this that everybody can kind of like, for all the viewers and stuff, that can kind of get a concept of what you're describing in a nutshell. Like, if anybody's familiar with the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp trial, boy, if I could speak, life would be better, right?
Don't shit on pillows.
Anyway, the point is, right? But it's like, I think one of the things was about Amber, in addition to the fact we all learned throughout that process, she's really not a good actress, A. B, that like, the other aspect was like when she was talking about certain experiences she supposedly had with Mr. Depp, that she stole those stories, those trauma stories of actual physical and crazy abuse, and she just took it and she was like, well, I could use that story here. And, so, I mean, and I understand how that's like such a huge violation to somebody, because it's just like, not only is it like making you relive it, right? But that's a part of you, a very vulnerable part of you that is being exploited. So it's almost like being re-traumatized in like a whole brand new different way. And I think that that's one reason why Amber Heard really got under a lot of people's fucking skin. It's, excuse my language. Oh,
no, we have a fuck count. As a matter of fact, there's a person who does a fuck count for each of my podcasts. So you're good.
Okay. Sorry about that. But yeah,
no, don't be.
Anyway. So it's just one of those things. And I mean, I try to be a very calm person, and I try not to come from a place where I'm reacting. But like, for someone who has had like my kind of a background, and for the types of things that I've been able to see, just in my own experiences happening in other people's life, and really truly understanding what this does to somebody and the things that happen because of those things, I'm very protective over my trauma people. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't want them to ever be exploited. It's hard enough to get people to understand what they're experiencing in the first place, right? So like when people try to like glom onto that and just kind of be like, oh, it's my own identity marker, because, but I have a kind of a problem with society right now in general right now. It's probably a Vanna thing. But it's just like, finding, a random like DSM-5 term and going, that's my identity. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, that's that. That's really troublesome to me. But, and I mean, and it's also a particular type of mindset that I'm really not oriented toward. I'm oriented toward growth.
Yes.
Growth models, post-traumatic growth, like those are my things. But I also understand how there are difficulties that may come across in other people's lives that they may never overcome, because it's not like, I think that with something like trauma, you can go into remission, but the tricky thing about it is you never know when it's going to come back up and rear its head. And that's why
it's layered.
Oh,
it's
for sure.
So layered. So you may clear 6 layers and still have 10 to go.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's an uphill process. It's ongoing. The work doesn't ever seem to stop. So, I mean, I can totally appreciate why it's just like when somebody takes like really special things about yourself that you're sharing with others that are your gifts, and they're misinterpreted and then almost like mocked.
Yeah, because I see stealing as being not only mocking, but, and some people go, well, no, okay, so there's 2 sides to the coin. It's a 2-sided coin. I don't have the ego that I need to perform in public and make the money I need to make. I don't know who I am. I'm a chameleon, so I'm going to steal yours to be able to do that. In other words, there has to be some form of,
okay, I understand what you mean.
I really like what the persona you, and I don't know who I am, so I'm going to borrow yours and become that person for a minute. But there's danger in that, because walking that path, if you're not authentic, will do damage. You haven't.
For sure.
But then there's also those people that steal because they're not making it on their own and they know who they are, so they take from other people to make. And I'm going to flash this really quick because, I do have ego. This, my friends, do it backwards. That is stealing. I have permission to speak on that. Anything woven in silk is stealing from my coven sister's path and my path. A direct stealing. A direct copyright, CC, whatever you want to call it, violation. It is registered with me.
Well, I want to compliment you, first of all, on creating that network of protection around you, like with being able to, like, I do copyright my work. I do trademark my things. And if you're not working in conjunction with me and giving me the credit where credit is due, then that is plagiarism. Full on. I mean, that's, the college book, like textbook.
Yes, it is. And there's legal ramifications for plagiarism, as well as metaphysical, esoteric, whatever you want to call it. And mind you, this is not a threat I would never threaten on my podcast that is not owned by me. But understand that when you cross certain spiritual lines that have certain spirit backings, there are lines that get crossed and things happen without even me calling for it. And you're playing in a very dangerous game with very dangerous people.
That's true. See, the thing is about the magical community is just that, like, we don't all walk the same path. Again, what brings us to the circle isn't going to be the same story. None of us are going to have the same gifts. We're not going to be in the same age groups. There's going to be all sorts of like different like reasons why we're there. And there has always been a group of people that have been attracted to any particular field, but like our particular field, for instance, it's because they see how they can utilize that and they can prey on other people. It's like one of the whole reasons why, like, the dude whose name escapes me, but he was the author of Sherlock Holmes, and like people like Houdini got together and then they would go and they would crash party, like, seances and stuff to be like, you're ripping people off.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, like, I have a family member that was a part of that circle with Houdini. So like for me to deviate from that would just kind of be spitting in their eye. And I don't do that to my family.
Right. No,
I just don't. But I also understand, and I've only recently came to learn this as somebody's trying to guide me through the Myers-Briggs personality inventory, that there are people out there, and bless their precious souls, that they literally don't know themselves. Like, and if you come for me, if you come to me for advice, I'm always going to say, know thyself. Like, because you need to know what you're working with and what you're not working with. And that's not a good or bad thing. It's just assessing your resources, right? But Absolutely. Some people, they don't know themselves until they see it on somebody else. And then they find their identity through that. And that's why they don't have a particular identity. It changes the way that their mind changes. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, like I said, bless those dear creatures, their cognition can't help but do that. So, like, my question then becomes, like, is this something that the poor creature can't help but do because it just doesn't know how to behave in any other manner? Or is there really insidious and vicious motives behind this? Right? And once I can discern those two, that kind of helps me understand how I'm going to take care of a situation. But well, also,
and I think it's true. I think that lack of knowing yourself is an insidious thing.
It causes a lot of insecurity, and it causes a lot of desperate, pathetic behavior, and it's petty, unfortunately. And I don't know. So, but back to your point, and that you had mentioned, I'm trying to remember. Darn it! There we go again.
It's been a long night.
There we go again.
Smoking and drinking. Here we are at the Spiritual Speakeasy. Well, you know, people have asked, what does my agenda mean? What does my manifesto mean? And I'm in multiple organizations, and character is a big thing with several of them. And you know, I hate to say I'm watched, but I am watched because I am supposed to be learning and growing at a higher level. So I want to kind of quantify and qualify some words that I use in my text. Sin to me, I am not talking about the big sin in the Bible. Okay. I'm not saying I represent the snake that comes in with the apple, which, by the way, is a whole story. It's not real. It's kind of a metaphorical situation that's been passed down for ages about choices and roads, right?
Sure.
It's not Christian sin. It could be sacred rebellion. It could be the breaking open point of truth, where truth with a T meets small truths that we think are we're very attached to, that we think we know, that we really don't know, right? Mm-hmm. We want to be right. The refusal to be small, because sin has a capital S. It's not a little s. Mm-hmm. Smoke is the breath of the other world. It's not fire. Mm-hmm. Hi, Morta. Shadow, revelation, distortion, where the lies can't survive because they're smoked out. Mm-hmm. It shows all. The thin veil that we walk in. Silk, the sensuality. Sovereignty. Ooh, sovereignty is a big one. That word's been stolen too and used in direct context to our rituals, which is a whole nother thing. Softness over steel, power that doesn't have a roar, the feminine edge, the femininity to the underworld that the Asians have used all the way through. So when you look at things like that, and you want to call yourself weaving with the silk, walking through the smoke, and even words like your sinful self that have been taken out of context. Not at all. No, your dark self, your sinful self. That's not at all what this is about. Mm-hmm. It's not. And there have been others attached to the spinning of the web and things like that. And that story is going to yet to be told. Nancy and Reb, hang on a second. We are smoking and drinking. Hey, Nancy, you're a normal buddy. We are drinking some kind of cherry stuff. I don't know. It's like a dessert thing
Oh, nice.
from Colorado and Manitou Springs. It's a small batch they make every year. It's amazing. Smoking, I don't smoke. I have allergies. I would like have to have an EpiPen. Let's see what else we got. Venom. It is the ultimate violation of spiritual integrity. Yeah.
And I kind of want to go back to a point that you made. It came back to me. I remember now. Okay, so when you said what was it? You said that there are spiritual ramifications and there's fallout. I agree with that. And I kind of think back to, I refer to him as Uncle Al, but Aleister Crowley. And like, he was absolutely known for, among the initiates, for building traps into his work.
Mm-hmm.
So if you went in and you tried to monkey around with one of his books, you'd fall into, you know, a trap, really, and a pretty bad one too. So you can't just grab one of his things and then just go out there and do it. And you know what, to be perfectly fair, sometimes he couldn't either.
You know, and Solomon couldn't either. And that was the big thing. Like, oh, shit. Sorry, my computer just jumped. Solomon, that's what Aleister Crowley's work was based on. Oops, sorry, I got a light behind me too. It's King Solomon. And if you do Solomonic magic, you know that he was felled by his own magic.
Yeah. Isn't that what the Necronomicon? Oh my God. The Necronomicon, I mean, that's essentially what it's based off of, is it not? Was he not the mad Arab? Like,
yeah.
It's right there.
I mean, it's so powerful, but I tell people all the time, be very careful what you summons, because your ego will tell you can contain it and you can't. Be very careful what you copy, because you may think that you can imitate aesthetics, and you can. Like my look, like, okay, look at me. Like, I don't look like my filters at all, right? I don't. I love my filters. If I could become my filter, there's a part of me that would become my filter, but I want to turn it on and turn it off, right? Sure. You have to be able to flip that switch and know when you're performing and when you're not.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with people who imitate is that they want, God damn that light behind me. They want to be able to be that person, to make money, for ego, to support their subconscious that they think is their subconscious, and it's really their ego.
Well, what I feel like you're describing, and I could be wrong, because again, like, I don't have my license, but like, it sounds like you're describing what most people would classify as a psychopath and a sociopath, right? What they do is they mimic.
Yes.
That's what they do. So for them to act in any other way than how you described would just, I mean, that's the nature of that particular organism.
Or a lost soul. Like, I mean, I'm willing to give them the fact that they're lost, right? Like, they don't know who they are. They're still trying to find their identity. There's so much trauma. And I think it's also their trauma that they haven't healed from. And there's a fear. Fear is a common thread subconsciously that people have that holds them back and won't let them step into their own power.
What I love about the word fear, though, is if you break it down and you turn it into, I can't use any of my words today, so bless me as much as you possibly can and get my tongue to work. But it's essentially, if you break the word down, and F, what does F represent? False. What's E. I know. I was like, which word am I spelling? E. It is evidence. So false evidence, and then A, appearing real. So that's what it is. It's false evidence appearing real. And that's all that fear is most of the time. It's not that our limbic system isn't trying to tell us something's off and that we shouldn't lean into that and believe in it, because that is programmed for our innate survival. But sometimes we need to stand back and go, okay, like, I need to be objective about this. And if I can't be objective about this, if I'm feeling something about it, because as long as you're feeling, like, most of, I don't know, it's just how the body just reacts, I guess. It just gives that all of the attention to that, instead of being able to go, let me de-escalate this, right? Even with yourself, not with the other person at this point, and then become objective about it. So I mean, that's a big thing, but it's just like most people can't move out of that fear, I guess, gear, because they don't necessarily realize that they're succumbing to these mechanisms, that these very human, very mammal mechanisms, right? And if you don't know what you're doing, then it's hard to regulate it.
True. And that's very true. But you would also think that people who are practicing for money,
Mhm.
so you've moved out of the metaphysical realm where people are just throwing down some cards or doing a little Reiki on themselves, to booking themselves out to major studios, would know themselves a little better. And I run across this all the time. Like, I do run across this all the time, and not only in the metaphysical world, but for my paranormal peeps that are out there watching too. How many times have you seen a team that professed that, oh my God, and I'm not mimicking Zach Bagans. Love Zach Bagans. Oh my God, what is that? And then it's some producer has put something, in something or done something to make something look real.
It's like
Again,
when
I love Zach.
somebody's
Thank you.
pulling like
Shout
a
out to Zach. He
fishing
does not
string
do that,
across
by
the
the way.
floor.
Huh?
Like, and they're pulling the like fishing string across the floor, and it's like,
Yeah.
did you see that? Who's carrying that? Oh
Who's
my gosh!
carrying that?
Yeah, I mean, I get that.
But it's the same thing. Like, stealing an identity, stealing a persona, you may think that you're just visually looking like and walking the walk because you're emulating. I think that's the right word. I make up a lot of my own words.
No, emulating is a real word.
I'm glad. I mean, I've made up quite a few this weekend. Emulating someone else's, the courtesan or the whatever, the spinning of the silk, the weaving of the shit, whatever. But you can't imitate the stars. You can't do that either. The scars that came with that process.
You're right. And see, there's a big difference. Like, one of the reasons why I'm doing like peer counseling right now, it's because like I want the people that I work with, like I call them my trauma people.
Mhm.
Like, I want them to understand that like I have the knowledge that I have, not because I'm just book smart, not because I went out and I got my master's in this, but because it helped me process my whole life. And like, I was lucky that I had that piece that fell in for me, just because that piece fell in for me and it helped me find out who I am, the path I'm supposed to take, and the path I'm supposed to guide others through, doesn't mean that that's the piece for somebody else. Like, and that's why I'm kind of like, I'm really particular with language, and I'm really protective about language. And it is because like, I don't care if you're just using words just to use words, then fine. But if you're really trying to communicate something, right?
Mhm.
Like, those words have bloody meaning.
Yeah, they do.
And so it's when you take those words out of context that it's just kind of like, okay, now it's kind of like watching, Army of Darkness, when Ash went
That
out
was a
and
great movie.
got half of the damn words, and he was just like, you saw what happened there.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a shitstorm.
It was.
It didn't end well.
Who didn't? But I mean, I'm kind of like, who doesn't just want to be standing in a cemetery, have a whole bunch of skeletons try to fight you? I'd be like, today's the day.
Die, bitch, die.
Today's the day. But like, on a paranormal level, like, now that we're talking about that, and I want to explore this so much more with you, and I hope that we have future shows together where we can, because I've been in the paranormal world. Just because I don't socialize a lot, I keep to myself for a lot of reasons. I love that. She is so just beautiful. I want to understand that Zoe is how I wish I could look.
I know, right? Like, for those of you that can't like see her, like, let me see if I can.
Oh, she is beautiful eyeshadow. Look at that. And her dress.
See her dirt and her. She got elf ears.
She's beautiful. Oh my goodness. I'm just in awe.
She has some cool ass outfits coming too. You're gonna see her a lot. Anyway.
But so John Edwards and like Sylvia Brown.
Yes.
So tell me how you feel about those people.
Fakes.
Okay. So how do you know that they're fakes? What told you that they're fakes? Right?
Well, I think let me backtrack. That's a harsh statement. I think both of them started out and they have gifts.
Sure.
I think they have gifts, but I think when you sell out, I think there's an expectation. Like when you write a good book, a bestseller, you make a #1 gold or platinum album, the pressure is on to do more.
Mm-hmm.
And you want, let's do rock stars. That's a really easy model, or rap stars, music artists. Everybody understands the world of music artists. You come in with an original sound. You come in hitting those notes and sound in the way everybody wants to sound. You got a unique sound. Man, we want you. We sign you on. But then we put you under the cookie cutter mold because you have a unique sound, but we want you to sound like everybody else that fits the mold to make $1 million, right? Platinum. We're going to make a platinum album.
So you think that at first they came in and they were bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and they were raw talent that actually had a gift to provide, but then the marketing machine got a hold of them and they're like, this is how we turn you into a star. This is how we make money off of it.
Maybe Sylvia not so much, because Sylvia kind of lost her shit at the end.
Yeah, she got, well.
But I think there's a reason she lost her shit, because I think she was in conflict constantly between, the people that were trying to boost her and herself.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think it's really interesting because I went to a behavior panel conference. Like, I don't know if you know them. They're like on YouTube and stuff like that. They do body language analysis and things like that. And then Chase, who likes to work with hypnosis, picks somebody out of the crowd to be able to come up there and basically put on like a public display of hypnosis, right? And then after he did that, he was just like, now, let me explain to you how I picked my mark. Right? And he's like, I'm looking for the most eager person. I'm looking for the most desperate person. Yep. I'm looking for because they are going to be the most susceptible to any influences that they receive from me, because they've already put me in a position of authority. Right?
Right.
So like part of me like feels protective over those poor bastards, because I'm like, whoa, hey, what? They've been doing this for years. Okay. They all are working from the exact same playbook. Right. And it's just like, if you could peek behind the curtain and look at the wizard and see him for who he is.
Absolutely.
And I mean, that is one of the reasons why I do what I do. I'm like, this is how you move in the world and not be a victim. Right?
Yeah.
It's not that I won't be victimized again, but I know quite a lot about being a victim. I set myself up all the time.
Oh yeah. And that's the scarring that you can't make, right? Like,
well, I definitely
we can put on a mask that look like Vanna. Like, we can create a 3D printed mask that looks like you.
I know you can, but everybody has denied me at the studios for making a horror film. They said that it's not going to happen. I'm too dark.
But you know what I mean, though? Like, we can put on a mask and we can come forward and quote your ideologies, but can we be you?
No, but like the particular ideologies that I have are meant to be replicated. I want them to be replicated. I want the whole world to become trauma informed. I want everybody to have that at their disposal, because it's hard as hell to work with people who are traumatized.
Absolutely.
And
but there are certain aspects of your personality.
I hope that somebody could replicate me.
Well, see, I don't want my scars replicated. Like, I don't want you to go through the things that I've gone through to become me, because you have to go through your things to become you.
Well, that's true. But I think that when I was writing my book, Marilyn Manson and Me, I found the common factors in humanity. I knew that my story, the traumas that have impacted me and shaped me and made me the person I am today, happen every single day.
Yeah, they do. Absolutely, they do.
And I'm not
that's unfortunate, but it's true. It is true. Rebecca says, Pathological con artists and manipulators engage in pathological identity theft and erosion, attempting to gain attention they would otherwise lack by essentially becoming their victim.
That's correct. It's some straight up single white female shit. Like, there's a movie that was made about this. Like, I mean, it's a great movie.
It is a good movie. Very scary because it happens
all the time.
But, you know, the other thing, going back to the magical world, to the world of metaphysics and away from paranormal, which kind of they link, but
they intertwine.
But paranormal people don't want to go there, like, right, you know, unless you got a medium that's a witch on your team.
No, we're all like, we are ghost stalkers, and we're scientists with gadgets, and we can't help but be like, this fucking thing works. I tell you.
That's true. Borrowed magic collapses. Stolen rituals don't have the spirit behind them. Wearing another witch's identity creates psychological rupture. Claiming spirits you are not aligned with creates dissonance. And mimicking trauma-born power without the trauma breaks people from the inside. Masks rot when there is no face beneath them.
That's very true. And I like to talk about masks a lot, not to interrupt you, because I know you are trying to get certain messages out, but like,
no, I mean, honestly, that was my main one.
I think that when people put on masks, like, you know, for instance, let's talk narcissists and psychopaths and sociopaths are the easiest ones to pick on because they just can't help themselves. But they put on those masks. And once you start like trying to get close to them, they will become more symptomatic. And what I mean by that is they will become more ferocious, more of an asshole. They will attack you more. Their attacks will become far more vicious. It's because they're terrified you've gotten too close, and they're trying to protect the fact that there is nothing there.
Right.
That's why they act the way they do when they do, as quickly and as ferociously. It's because it's a sheer act of desperation. You got to understand, those organisms, just like any other organism, myself included, we are designed for survival. Their survival mechanisms, their systems are completely counterproductive and even alien to our operating systems, right? Mm-hmm. So, of course, the mimicry is mimicry. And sometimes people can do it really good. Like, we have actors for that, right?
Parasites.
Yeah. But like, you know, if they know that they're going to be uncovered or they're going to be discovered, that's when it's on, because they're trying to fight for their survival. It's all gone.
It's gone. My bottle is not in the room.
I tried to order some sake the other night. I couldn't find any in this bloody place, so I didn't get any. But that's why we need to go and have some sake, because
we do.
Like, I'm craving it.
I know. And we're talking about getting together in a couple days. Like, I think, or a couple days, like next, not this coming week, but the next week. I have a crazy calendar this next week. Like, I'm traveling to people doing QHHT.
Okay.
So, like, yeah. Good. So, and I'm doing paranormal investigations and some really cool shit that's going to come out live. Like, it's going to be really fun.
I can't wait.
This is going to be a great week. You're gonna see me like impaired in doing investigations. Like, it's gonna be an interesting gig. Like, we got some fun planned. You know, kind of like grade C horror movie shit. We're gonna play.
Oh, I love it. I'm in.
Just for fun, not because I would advise anybody to go out and do that kind of shit. But it's
maybe with the disclaimer of this is not how you do it.
Not in it. There will be lots of disclaimers on the event. So, you know, like, getting back, like, we've stayed on topic. We really have. We've done a really good job. When you steal an identity, you have to understand that you're stealing the backstory too. And you know, Venom has a backstory, and she'll make that known, you know, when she's ready. I have permission to talk about it, but at that same time, her facts are her facts, and her story is her story.
Yeah, and it's her voice. She needs to. Yeah. It's hers, and it's hard. I can say with my own experience that when you are revealing those very vulnerable and intimate aspects of yourself, your experience, like, I mean, you're putting yourself in a very precarious position, but a necessary one. And when that does happen, like, it is stepping into and claiming your voice and screaming from the highest mountain and standing with the strongest resolve, you know. And I mean, that takes time. Like, one of the cool things about like working with you guys is that, you know, like, Venom understands how important it is to have that voice, right? She understands a lot of the things that go along with the true things that need to take place for somebody to heal. And, you know, like, and again, that's her voice, it's her story, and I want her to be able to speak it on her own.
This is not the owner's story. I did not say a word. This is not the owner's story. This belongs to someone else. The one before that belonged to me. So speaking my path, because that's all I can do, speaking my path.
Mm-hmm.
This person did not have a death experience in 2021, nor did she have one in 2025. She did not go through the spirit's alignment in the entities that came to either bedside. She does not have the bloodline that either one of us have. She does not breathe what either one of us breathe in and out because of what was given to us to survive.
Mm-hmm.
She does not have the past life contracts and medicine line that both of us have. Multitasking. And she does not have the trauma carved wisdom. So my path and another's path fits because it broke us and it rebuilt us.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't steal what the underworld forged. You can emulate it all you want, but it is not authentic. It is not authentic, and you will rot beneath it by doing that. It will come down. The web will collapse.
Mm-hmm.
You will fall, and it will be made known. Just saying that. Just saying it. You know?
Yeah, no, I saw what happened to Amber Heard.
Yeah. You know, when you misrepresent and you cause the harm that's done, first of all, let's talk about, okay, we always have this joke about, like, you have these weekend events and somebody comes to your table and they fucking steal sage. Like, what's going to happen to them? Well, to me, nothing, because obviously you needed some clearing in your life and you didn't think through that situation, right? Didn't. But when you represent lineage that's not yours, that's a problem. That's not me coming after you. That is the spirit of that lineage coming after you.
Well, that's true. And I don't think that people understand the full power of what it is to have your ancestry working with you and backing you up on something. Like, I mean, and unfortunately, I wish that it was something that was more well known and that people did have more of a connection to themselves through their heritage.
No, the lineage is not happy, because there have been claims with the shadow work and the various other things. There's, you know, the Spider Woman, the spun silk, the cortisone, the smoke, the whole dark self.
So let me ask, because I haven't heard this yet from you. Like, okay, so as all of these things have come to light, right? Mm-hmm. Like, and given what you know about just human constructs and motivations and mm-hmm. things like that, can you help me understand why somebody would choose those particular words that were very blatantly ripped off of from other people? And it's like a dollar store type ripoff. It's not even a good one.
Right.
But so can you explain that to me so I can understand? Because I mean, some of these people, like I've never met, never known.
I can only explain from this particular circumstance.
Sure.
Because I mean, I could go into paranormal, but that is still an active suit. So I'm not going to go into paranormal. And we've had even more things come up. So, yes, there are lawyers that have been brought into that as well, for those
Okay.
people that are wondering. So quit getting me shut down on Facebook. There you go. This particular person took part in a particular coven ritual with us.
Okay. So she heard sacred words and
She
then
heard sacred words. Not only did she hear sacred words, but it was texted to her in ritual that was created by Venom and I.
Oh, I understand. Yes. Okay. So
She
full on.
took those stories. Also, go back further than that. Go back a couple months prior to that. She was at the hospital while Venom was at the hospital.
Mm.
And certain things were discussed. And we were discussing how the rebirth of both of us connected at a weird same time, and how we remodeled and stepped into our personas.
And I love that you two have that connection. I love that
Yeah,
that was
and it
like
was
a
a huge thing,
simultaneous.
and it was like, oh my god, like this all. Sorry, I seriously am not tweaking. Like my scalp is really dry. I'm like going, I'm not doing crack. I
You seem
swear.
a little too calm for crack. Okay.
My scalp is just. We shared in the room with several people, myself included, two others, and Venomora, and the cortisone and the spider. And we created this. We talked about. We didn't create, because that sounds like we like wrote this story. It was there, and the two were interwoven, and it was interwoven very tightly, which was very strange because we didn't talk to each other through the writing of any of this.
No, you made a really tight connection there.
It was like, holy shit, wait a minute. Let me pull up this thing because I want to read to you this. And she was like, oh my God, let me read to you this. And it was the same fucking shit.
I love that. I love the synchronicity.
Like she said, it was channeled, right? And we've had our issues. Don't get me wrong. Like, Venom and I have had our issues. We've been together. We have like had some shit, and we've worked through that shit. Mm-hmm. Being authentic and truthful at all times to both of ourselves. And this person was present in those conversations. Mm-hmm. So the day that this person showed up at said gathering, there were concerns because the person was what I would call off. But the person seemed to gather their energy flow and do better towards the end of the day, and was allowed to come into the circle that we had talked about before.
Okay.
Like maybe that person's just having an off day. There's things going on at home. They're not feeling well. And right afterwards, we're set and shit happened. Okay. And the truth came out. Mm-hmm. And the person was removed by the group. Mm-hmm. Boundaries were set. And we assumed, I'm going to use the word assumed very lightly, that no further work at that point in time, besides cord cutting, was needed. Because unlike a lot of people, I think we think the better of people. We try to think that no one is going to be malicious, right?
Yeah, I think many people walk into and they exchange information and experiences with people, not thinking that they could take something so beautiful and, mm-hmm. So precious, really, and turn it into something that it was never.
Which is why, at our last coven thing, I said, be prepared within 24 hours to turn in your jars if you're eliminated.
Oh, sure. Yeah, for sure.
Because learning is a curve, right? Like, it's kind of like playing golf. Like you're going to give me 100 strokes on a 3-stroke hole because I dig great holes. It takes me a while. So not only was ritual stolen word for word, mm-hmm. word for word, like, because this person has a copy of the ritual we used on their phone.
Well, my question is like, okay, so I understand kind of like the back actions, but like, so what do you think is motivating this particular person?
This person doesn't have a backbone. So this person also went on a paranormal investigation with myself and my husband. One of their friends had called and asked for help, and she asked if she could tag along to learn boundaries. And it got way too heavy, way too fast for her. And she went and took a walk, and there was a whole lot of shit. And it was very dark, because it is dark when you're clearing a house.
It can be dark for sure.
And she booked a session with me to learn about dark shadow work and dark energies and stepping into the darkness. And then when she found out all the information, not even 24 hours before the appointment, she canceled the appointment and then started teaching a class on it.
Okay. I hear you. So you think that she's just getting any information she possibly can for and utilizing that for her own professional gain. So like, she's not even thinking about it. She doesn't understand the symbolism behind anything.
Not at all.
This
not
is an
at all.
avenue for me to create money.
Not at all.
This person doesn't care who she takes advantage of, both from the people she stole from, but also the people that she provides services to.
Parasitic with rose-colored glasses, with no understanding of the natural consequences of what she's done.
Well, and but here's my question:
and also ego-fed and maybe manipulated, because she thinks that she's not going to get hit by the repercussions of something.
Isn't that good though? Isn't that the best thing that could possibly be? Like when you see like somebody walking along being like tra la 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 la, nothing ever comes back to me, and then they get clobbered by a piano that fell out of the sky.
Well, from my point of view, yes, but from her point of view, no. And that's my warning. See, I'm not here. And I'm going to state this for those people watching this later. I'm not here to do harm.
Okay.
I don't have to fucking do harm. You're going to harm yourself before I harm you.
For sure. I understand that.
Stupidity and brainwashing of society and there's a word I'm looking for. Shit. Starts with an I. And it probably doesn't, but in my head right now, it starts with an I.
It seems that way.
Ignorance.
Okay.
Ignorance is bliss, right? So for me, it's no excuse, but those are the best things that I can bind somebody to. Like, all I have to do is bind you to yourself at that point, and you're going to make the bad choices because you're so ego-filled and so ignorant of what's really going to happen. Put on your pretty little rose-colored glasses and make your money. And you're going to make the bad choices and you're going to do your own demise. I don't have to take the consequences and the hit for that. Mm-hmm. I don't. And that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, so I very much believe in giving somebody enough rope to hang themselves with, because I cannot.
And that's them. I'm like, I can stand here as the paranormal courtesan, and I can have the sin as my shadow, and I can have the smoke in my breath, and I can have the silk on my skin, and you can be mimicking every fucking thing that I do, but you're not me. Yeah. And in the end, when push comes to shove, the path is mine. The rituals are mine and my sister's. The fire is mine. And no imitation's going to carry that weight. So steal my words, steal my work, steal my aesthetics, but you can't steal the underworld that made me. You can't. And you will come up not feeling so well when you do that.
Well, some people don't even ever make it out of Dante's Inferno.
No, they don't. They don't. That's the whole thing. They don't make it out of that.
I understand. I feel you. But I also think that, because I think for me, when it comes to people who try to emulate, or I don't think I've ever seen anybody try to like emulate me, but bless their hearts, and I appreciate where they're coming from. But at the same time, I mean, because I know that I'm the only Vanna in the room right now. Like there's only me, and that could be a good thing and that could be a bad thing. But like I guess I never really feel like I'm in competition with anybody. Like I do have my sovereignty because I know that I'm a wacky person, and whack, if only the weird, if you embrace it, you know what I'm talking about. Like like
that's the best. That's the best.
And and again, like because I am a student of Uncle Al's, like I'm just kind of like, okay, you know best, may the force be with you. And then I mean it doesn't shake me. And I'm so thankful to be in a beautiful circle with really wonderful women that, like, I don't really like that many women, to be perfectly honest. I like you guys. And I like that our goal is sovereignty. And what it means for me to be sovereign is to know that, like, I don't have to compete against anything because I already am. And bless the souls who would like to be like me. And you know what? Go ahead and you can join my church, and I can try to teach you to be like me for a very hefty fee. And it's a nonprofit. And I'm kidding.
I will mix the Kool-Aid.
I mean,
it's gonna be cherry lemonade flavor.
For sure. Like, and if you want to get in line for my special Kool-Aid, then there's $7. There's $7 a drink. Like,
I will give you a certificate for the Kool-Aid Club for $25.
Well, we have 3 minutes or 4 minutes, so this is your show, and I'm gonna let you close it because I know
good. This has been good. So I want to say before we close, and you can have your close too. Tonight, I want to leave people with this. You can steal the words of a witch, and you can steal everything, the image, the persona, the words. You can steal the rituals, but you can't steal the fire that gave them the breath. You can borrow the silk, but not the skin that endured the blade to earn it.
Mm-hmm.
You can imitate the smoke. Imitate. That was all. Bleh. You can imitate the smoke, but not the lungs that survive the burning. Identity is not a costume. Magic is not a mask. Mm-hmm. Darkness is not a filter. I am the paranormal. I can't even say what I am right now. That's funny. Hairball. I am the paranormal courtesan. That is my hashtag. Born in sin, raised in smoke, crowned in silk. My path is not performance. It is price, it is lineage, and it is blood. And those who take what they have not earned do not harm me. They unravel themselves. And I want to thank the people that have walked the line with me tonight, and Vanna, because she has been a huge part of this. It takes a lot to get on the stage and to make yourself known and to stand behind your words. Many people are not up to that task, and having a face to go with what they're saying. Venom, I've got, like, I'm trying to do comments and read too. It's knowing who you are. It is.
Yes, that's what sovereignty is.
It is. And we know who we are.
And finding strength and that's accepting your all your strengths and all your flaws and getting them all to work together. That's what it is to be sovereign.
It is sitting on the doorstep with your demon, smoking a cigar and having a shot and going, what the fuck? It was a bad day.
Oh, for sure. I love those meetings. Those are my favorite. They don't like it when I show up, but yes.
like, was your day worse than mine? Because mine would kind of sucked. Rebecca says the act of theft was driven by their inability to achieve material success through their own efforts, leading them to seize from who had achieved true success and possessed genuine integrity. Amen. Ashe. Ashe. Thank you tonight for walking with me. May your authenticity guard you and your shadow empower you. May your truth remain untouchable. And thank you to Venom and Rebecca and Vanna for being my sisters on this path. Thank you for standing behind us and being a part of us. Thank you for sharing the journey. And now my shaman master, Brandon, is coming on. Though I won't watch her show because I'm cooking ramen noodles and eggs. I'll watch it later. I promise you. Love to y'all tonight. Thank you all for watching. We're going to continue this. We got more. There's always more to talk about. We're going to get Venom on too.
For sure.
We are. We got to get her on. And Rebecca. Thank you guys so much. Watching the Spiritual Speakeasy, where the bar is always open and the spirits are always served. And for all my paranormal peeps, which have probably left this show because it was metaphysical, I love you all too. And we're going to investigate December 12th. And you're going to get to see us live on air. And it's going to be fucking awesome.
Yeah, I love that. Hold on, I'm trying to do my jazz hands and nobody can see me.
Thank you to KD and Katie Stafford, the mad scientist, and Paranormal Task Force, and all my buddies out in the paranormal team.
Hello, Paranormal Task Force. I haven't talked to you all in years, but I remember you.
Hey, we got investigations coming up in March. We will post the links. KD and KD post the links. I don't know how. Love you. I'm doing good to monitor this shit. I am. Love to you guys tonight. Thank you so much. Good night. Bless y'all.
Good night.